Прям хочу на карнавал.
Hello, can I speak to Peter, please?
Hello, Kate. It's me.
Oh, how are things getting on?
Fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm fine too. My aunt from Brazil is going to visit us.
Oh, from Brazil? Great. Does she live in the capital?
Yes, she has been living there for 15 years.
And do you know that it's the third capital of the country?
Really?
The first one was Salvador, the second one Rio de Janeiro. And the name of the third capital is Brasilia. The city became the capital in 1960. The main famous buildings were built by a well-known architect, Oscar Niemeyer.
It's really interesting, but we don't know how to impress the aunt.
I don't think it will be too hard. I'm sure it will be pleasant for her if you make her feel at home.
Not a bad idea. Peter, you're interested in Brazil, aren't you?
That's it.
Then join us on Sunday at 12 in the afternoon. Bye.
Bye. Thanks a lot.
Она все-таки приехала. Ой, спасибо.
Капец.
Oh, dear sister. You're welcome. We haven't seen you for ages. Glad to meet you.
Hello, my dear girls. Happy to meet you too. I hope everything's okay. And who are these people, I wonder?
Don't worry, they're Mrs. Friends. This is Mary. And this is Peter. They're keen on Brazil. They're willing to listen to stories about the country.
Donna Rose, and who is this on your shoulder? We want to know.
Ah, this is my favorite pet, Shirley. I miss her greatly when I go traveling. So, if there is any opportunity, I always take her with me.
Are there many monkeys in Brazil?
Quite a lot, but you see, there are not gorillas or chimps. There are little species of monkeys.
And what are their usual places of habitats?
They live in different parks, and wild monkeys live far away from people in different forests.
You must be very tired having made such a long way to us. Would you like some coffee?
Thank you. I enjoy coffee. The smell is wonderful. It must be Robusta growing in Brazil. Delicious. It's a rare kind of coffee, you know.
How much coffee does Brazil produce?
I think 1/3 of the whole production in the world.
And when did coffee appear in the country?
It's a pity, but I don't know. Do you?
Brazil began to produce coffee about 150 years ago. The main kind of coffee is Arabica. The first coffee bushes were planted in 1727 on the territory of the state Para. According to the legend, coffee was brought by the Colonel Francisco de Melo Paleta from a French colony in Vienna. Coffee was a present to him from a governess who was in love with the colonel.
It sounds interesting.
And these nuts are for a monkey. I hope she will like them.
Oh, thank you. You know, my monkey tastes very well. She is fond of these tasty nuts.
And do you know where these nuts grow?
No idea, though I like them like my monkey.
Brazilian nut, one of the tastiest nuts in the world, grows in the jungles along the Amazonca and the Orinoco rivers. In Brazil, Peru, Colombia, Bolivia, Venezuela and Guiana, people tried to grow petaleta tree in other countries, but alas, they failed. So, these nuts are exported only from South America. There are a lot of vitamins in them, and these nuts keep vitamins for 2 years.
I can also add that the Brazilian nut is a large tree reaching 30-45 meters tall and 1-2 meters strong diameter. The tree may live for 500 years, and some of them reach the year of 1,000 years.
How surprisingly.
Donna Rose, and what's your attitude towards soap operas? Are you fond of them?
Like all women in the world, I enjoy watching soap operas. And have you seen any of them?
Of course. For example, The Step Without was the first film of such a kind shown in our country. Millions of people worried for the fate of a well-educated, young, beautiful woman.
Do you remember the name of the main heroine?
Lucinda Sanders,
and other movies such as The Story of Love, Babylon Drama, Tender Poison, Clone, The Bank of the Gym, The Earth of Love, The Earth of Hope were also popular with viewers.
And can we watch any soap opera nowadays?
Certainly. Today is the beginning of the film called The Honor of the Fate with Susanna Vieira and Renata Sora. This film is devoted to all women in the world, encouraging them to be the honor of their own fate and to choose the proper way of living.
And what's on your TV right now?
Let's switch it on. Look, we have a surprise for you. Your favorite soap opera.
Oh dear, the slave is our, yes? Do you really think that I'm so old-fashioned? I like football.
Oh, a tennis a minute.
Oh, that's great. My favorite team is playing and I see some football players from Brazil in your Russian team. It's a surprise for me.
Why? Don't you know, Brazilian footballers have made a lot in order football became popular not only in Brazil, but all over the world. We admire Pelé, the king of this game, and the whole Brazilian team that set an unforgettable record. They became a participant in all final matches during the World Championship.
But I still can't understand why Brazilian footballers play for Russia.
You see, there are some advantages. Firstly, they are paid in Russia more than in Brazil. Their salaries are about 2 million per year. Secondly, if the team wins, the players get extra money. And besides, some of them don't pay taxes.
When did the players from Brazil begin to arrive in your country?
In 2003, Zhidov from Vasco da Gama and Dudu Sirens from the club Victory was the first to join Russian teams. But there is one problem for the Brazilians.
Which one, I wonder?
The cold Russian climate. Not all the players can stand cold weather. For example, in 2005, Jean from Rio de Janeiro left Russia after 10 months of staying. He couldn't adapt himself to the cold weather.
Well, Peter, it looks like you're eager to leave us.
You are quite right. The thing is, I am in a hurry to my sport club.
And what kind of sport are you fond of?
I go in for capoeira.
Capoeiro? The name sounds familiar to me.
No wonder. It's a Brazilian national fighting art, including some elements of dancing, acrobatics and games. This combination is accompanied by national music.
How long have you been doing this sport for?
Half a year, but capoeira became well known and popular among Russian people long ago. In 1994, when they saw the film One of the Strongest with Mark Dacascos as the main character. Brazilian masters began to visit Russia from 1996. There was Meche Bandeira, Meche No, Meche Brolin and Meche Blackson among them. Capoeirists from Russia began to visit sporting camps and seminars in Europe, Brazil and the USA.
Oh, I've got to know so much interesting from you. Such clever, broad-minded children you are. It's my pleasure meeting you.
Thanks a lot. So, have to go. Have a nice time in Russia. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Good luck. Thank you for your attention.